If you have ever woken up in the morning feeling completely confused, you look at the ceiling, then at the floor, and you have no idea what your baby should eat for breakfast, neither do you have for lunch, snack, or dinner, you would want to watch this video from beginning till the end, because today that is going to end. You're going to have a meal plan. In this video, I am sharing a full 1 day meal plan for babies 6 months to 3 years with easy nutritious recipes that support healthy weight gain, helps with strong bone, nutrient dense, and gives your baby a happy tummy. If you're new here, you're welcome to Chubby Baby's Kitchen, and to all my lovely subscribers who have been here with me, thank you so much for staying put and supporting this channel. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and share. It really helps other Chubsters to discover these healthy, easy baby meals. So let's dive right in. Now let's start with the first meal of the day, breakfast. And the first ingredient on our list is something truly special to me, Maki ragi porridge mix. The benefits of this ragi porridge mix can never be overemphasized. Now let me tell you a little about this ragi porridge mix, because I'm sure you must have seen me use it in many of my recipes, and I'm using it because it is super healthy and super beneficial. Ragi, which is also called finger millet, is the richest source of calcium among grains. It has 10 times more calcium than rice, wheat, and corn, and 6 times more calcium than milk. Now, it also helps to strengthen your baby's bone and guarantees healthy growth for your baby. It is packed with a lot of iron, potassium, magnesium. It aids in good digestion and gives your baby a very happy tummy. So if you're just sticking to only pap, it is high time you change your child breakfast. And trust me, you can never go wrong with Maki. You see, this particular product, it is the best selling product. It sells out even before it is being produced. To show you how beneficial it is, adults can take it, children can take it. It has fiber, and what this fiber does is to clear out every rubbish in your baby's body or every unwanted thing in your baby's body. So that is why it is very, very essential. So if you want to get this ragi porridge meal, you can only get an unadulterated mix from Maki Healthy Food. Please head over to Maki Healthy Food. The link to purchase it is in the description box, and include it in your baby's breakfast, and your baby will thank you. And the good part of this ragi mix is that you can make it the same way you make your pap, with boiled water. So all I did was to scoop out the quantity I need, dissolve with cold water, and pour the boiled water into it, and the ragi porridge mix is ready. Next, we add bananas. If your baby is 10 months or older, mash 2 ripe bananas and stir it gently into the porridge. For younger babies such as those from 4 to 6 months, or if your baby generally likes smooth meals, you can blend it really well with the porridge so that it is easier to swallow. So here is what I'll be using to mash the bananas, and this is called a baby food masher. This is so beautiful. I got this from the local market, and if you look inside, you're going to see those lines inside, right? They help the bananas or anything you want to mash very well. It is sizable, it is so unique, and it is very durable. So once your baby clocks 7 to 8 months, it is high time you got a baby food masher and introduce your baby to mash meal. This will help to improve their taste bud and help them to know that there are different textures of food. Overly smooth meals all the time isn't just good. So as you transition from breast milk to solid, now from solid you head on to mash, and from mashed your baby can now start eating family meals. Now it's time for Maki Healthy Food Weight Gain Powder. This here is a powerhouse of calories and nutrition. If you have a baby who is a picky eater, a baby who is not gaining weight, very skinny, or losing appetite due to teething, this here is the #1 solution that I would recommend for that child. It is very fast in action. Like, it helps to boost your baby's weight and appetite. If your baby is losing appetite on daily basis, this is what you definitely need, because the result is very evident. And the good part of it is that it contains milk, so milk is optional, except you want to make your baby meal more creamy, else you don't need milk when you use this, because it contains both nut milk and normal weight gain milk, right? So do well to get one for your baby. Now I transferred the ragi porridge mix into a bowl. I also added the mashed banana. Look how creamy this is, guys. This is so beautiful. Your babies will enjoy this and will ask for more, because the meal is, when you make a filling, nutrient dense breakfast like this for your baby, even your conscience will tell you that you are really doing well as a mother. Remember, this is not just pap, it is a nourishing, gentle, and tasty breakfast that helps your baby to grow stronger, happier, and healthier. So, would you be trying this for your baby? Please tell me yes, you will be trying this, and I will be so happy. And here is for my little babies, 4 to 6 months of age. And all you need to do is to transfer the bananas into a blending jar, go in with the ragi porridge mix, and add your baby formula, which is optional. Then go in with Maki healthy food weight gain powder and blend up until it becomes so smooth and creamy. And then you can pour it into a feeding bottle or their feeding plate and feed them directly. Trust me, when you feed your baby this meal for 2 weeks, you will see the result. The result will be evident because both the grain and everything it needs is very healthy. The ragi porridge mix contains about 10 times more calcium than rice and wheat for strong bones. The bananas contain natural potassium for fiber and energy, and the weight gain powder contains extra calories for healthy weight gain. So what else do you want out of breakfast? This will keep your baby full for a very long time until you are ready for the next meal. And never forget, you can also breastfeed your baby in between, even after giving this breakfast. And for your toddlers, you can give them warm milk and mashed banana or mashed apple and let them have it immediately after this breakfast. Now, Chopstars, let's move into lunch. And for this, we are making something I call the coconut sunshine baby rice. It is very nutritious and healthy for your babies. And the first thing I did was to start prepping all my ingredients. Here I have onions. I went ahead to chop the onions, cut off the parts that are not needed. Then I washed the onions in water, set aside. And then the next ingredients are our veggies. I'm going to be using some carrots, green peas, fresh tomatoes, all washed, diced, and ready to transform our rice into something colorful and nourishing. After washing the vegetables and the onions, you may want to chop the onions and the rest of the veggies into smaller bits. Onions is very good for babies, especially if you want to introduce solids to them. Whenever you want to make rice for your baby, be it any kind of rice, please ensure that you are not using canned tomatoes or tin tomatoes or sachet tomatoes. The best kind of tomatoes for you to give to your child is fresh tomato, the reddish one. Remember, our goal is to give our baby a healthy start in life. So whatever you're starting your child with should be very healthy. Do away with anything artificial or anything that will affect your child's cognitive development as they grow. So the best kind of food that you should give to your child are whole food and natural food. While I peel these carrots, let me tell you, if you are a mom who is always wondering how to sneak more vegetables into your baby's meals, this recipe will be your new best friend because the carrots will blend in so well that your baby won't even know that they are eating something so healthy. Some babies become picky eater or refuse food not because they are picky, but because the food just looks boring. And that is why I love adding colors and textures to meals because it makes babies curious and more willing to try new things. Also, you don't need expensive ingredients to make healthy meals for your baby. Simple, fresh things from your kitchen can do wonders for your baby's growth. Next up is our main ingredient, which is rice. And here I measured out 1 cup of rice and transferred this into a bowl. Now, this 1 cup of rice will be very much sufficient for your babies, and you will still have enough to store in the fridge. You would want to go in with about 3 cups of water, pour it straight into your kettle and bring to a boil. And once the water boils, you want to pour the hot water over the rice. This will help to remove any impurities and will help to cook the rice halfway instead of parboiling. So this method actually works best for babies. Just make sure that the water boils very well so that it can be able to pre-cook the rice. Cover the rice and allow it to steam for few minutes. This will help to soften the rice beautifully and removes every impurities. Now let's start building the flavor. In my saucepan, I added a little bit of olive oil and coconut oil mixed together. If you don't have olive oil or coconut oil, kindly do well with vegetable or palm oil, anyone that is within you. You can even use margarine or butter, healthy butter. Next, I poured in my chopped onions and I allowed it to fry until it became very fragrant and slightly golden. Sauteing the onion helps to release that fragrance that onions have and give our meal a very nice smell. Next, I added the tomatoes and I also sauteed the tomato until the water dries a little bit. Ensure that you are stirring and frying the tomatoes with the onions to prevent it from getting burned. At a point, you would notice that the juice from the tomato has almost dried up and the tomatoes is now emitting oil. Then the next thing you have to do is to go in with your carrots. After adding the carrot, continue to stir gently until everything starts to simmer and mix together. At this point, if you have a toddler who is very picky and you want the toddler to start eating very well, this is my secret that I am giving you just because you are my wonderful chopsters. If you have a toddler who is picky, it is time for you to tell your toddler to come and stir the tomatoes with you, and as they are stirring, they'll be perceiving the aroma from the meal, and at the end of it all, they would want to test what they eventually cooked. So if you have a toddler or a kid who is very picky, try to involve them in the cooking process, and trust me, it really worked. It worked for my baby, it will work for you. And once everything was fried to perfection, you would want to go in with 1 full cup of creamy coconut milk. This is what gives the meal that soft, silky texture that babies love. Coconut milk is also amazing for healthy weight gain, brain development, and keeping your little one full for longer. I gave everything a gentle stir and I allowed the vegetables and the coconut milk to marry together beautifully. After it has boiled to an extent, I poured in a little water, just enough to cook the rice till soft. Then I added the rice gently into the pan, stirred everything together, covered it and allowed it to cook on low heat. Low heat helps the rice to soften without burning, and it allows all the flavors to soak inside each grain. And for my seasoning, of course, Chopstars, we are using only natural seasoning, nothing with MSG, nothing harsh for babies. For my seasoning, I added a pinch of turmeric, a little ginger powder, a touch of garlic powder, a small sprinkle of thyme, and a soft baby-friendly herb blend. All these are mild, safe, and perfect for babies 6 months and above. I also added my green peas into the boiling rice to boost the nutritional profile of our coconut rice. I gave it a quick stir and allow it to cook on low heat until everything is tender. After a few minutes, the aroma in my kitchen was heavenly. I opened the pot, stirred again, and the rice was getting soft and colorful. To boost nutrition, I also added my mackerel fish and also a little DHA powder from Maki Healthy Food. This is optional, but it is such a powerful ingredient. DHA helps to support brain development, vision, healthy weight gain, and it blends so well into the food without changing the taste. So I gave the rice a quick stir so that everything mixes well together. I covered it again and allowed it to finish cooking until it became perfectly tender, the kind of softness that makes babies open their mouth wide before you even bring the spoon close. Once it is done, our coconut sunshine baby rice is ready to serve. The texture is still creamy, soft and full of flavor, but still gentle enough for little tummies. I dished it out, and honestly guys, just look at that color. The orange from the carrots, a pop of green peas, the richness of coconut milk, everything blended into a beautiful baby-friendly lunch. Now Chopstars, if your baby is 2 years and above, you can serve the rice as it is. The vegetables are soft enough and the rice is tender. But if your baby is from 9 months old, This next step is for you. I scooped a portion into a bowl and used my baby food masher and gently mashed everything together. The rice becomes smoother, the vegetable breaks down perfectly, and you get a beautiful soft consistency that goes down easily for smaller babies. You don't need a blender for this. A simple baby food masher gets the job done beautifully without turning it into pap. After mashing, the texture was perfect. Creamy, soft, and full of flavor, yet still gentle on their tiny tummies. So, if you have watched up to this point, I want to truly thank you. And if you have found this helpful, inspiring, or simply beautiful to watch, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Tap the bell icon so you'll be notified anytime I post something new. Because here, I don't just share baby food, I share hope, I share healing, and we grow together. It's snack time, chopsters, and this is the part of the day that I always love. This snack here is very delicious, very nutritious, and super healthy. This is one of the best snacks you can make for your baby. For this recipe, I picked one ripe banana. You know that kind of banana that almost melts in your fingers. Soft, spotty, and naturally sweet, perfect for babies. I proceeded to chop the banana into bits. Next up is egg, and we are using one whole raw egg. I cracked the egg into a bowl and I whisked it. Now, as I was whisking the egg, I was saying one particular prayer in my heart. To every mother that will be trying this recipe, may your baby eat this food without stress. To every chopstar who will be trying any of these recipes that I'm dropping here, may your baby eat the food without stress. You know that prayers, right? It really works and it will work for you. As you're trying this recipe today, may your baby eat it without stress. Amen. Now, instead of the store-bought flour that has no nutritional benefit for your baby, we are dishing the flour for Maki Healthy Food Instant Fruity Oatmeal. This here is a powerhouse of nutrients. It is a very nice cereal, and the fact remains that it is an instant meal makes it a wholesome nutrition. This can be used for literally everything, for your swallow, for pancake mix, for smoothie, for anything. So if you're looking for a nutrient dense cereal, homemade cereal that gives your baby the best, please head on to Maki Healthy Food. In addition to this, we'll also be using Maki Healthy Food date powder, a natural alternative to refined sugar. We don't need sugar for this pancake, we'll only be using natural ingredients. Next up is our milk, and here I have my baby formula. You can do well with full cream milk or breast milk. Then everything went into the blender. I started by adding 3 scoops of the Maki Healthy Fruity Oatmeal, followed by the bananas that I have chopped. Then I also added the egg that I whisked, and I added the milk, and lastly I added Maki Healthy Food Date powder. All these here are natural and healthy meal. You can see that we don't have any artificial additive here. That is the goodness of homemade meal. Whatever we are adding into this blender is real, natural, and homemade. And within seconds, the blender turned the mixture into a smooth pancake batter, thick, sweet smelling, and very perfect. Next, I heated up my pan and gently poured in a melted butter into the pan. I also lightly brushed the butter on it, and then the pan is now set to collect the batter. Then little by little, I poured tiny scoops onto my hot pan, letting each one of them to form very slowly. They puffed off into the cutest little baby pancakes, very soft, fluffy, and lightly golden on the edges. I carefully arranged the pancake onto the pan so that each one is separated from each other. You will have to do this until you have covered the pan, or you can decide to space it out just like I did. And after a few minutes, flip onto the other side so that the top would cook very well, and you would see that your pancake is coming out very well. Now here is the top secret. For you to know that one side of your pancake is very cooked, you would see bubbles. As you can see, bubbles will be forming at the top part of the pancake. That is when you will know that it is time to flip, right? As the pancake cooks, the edges would fluff off like little tiny pillows, and I swear, moments like this remind me why feeding our babies feels so fulfilling. When I was done, I stacked them neatly because presentation matters, you know. We eat with our eyes first, and babies do so too. After stacking them neatly, as you can see, it is now well arranged. I proceeded to use my date syrup and decorate it even further. Now, this here is optional. You can choose to add date syrup and you can choose to leave it that way. But for my babies, I love adding additional date syrup because it gives them all the yumminess that they deserve. To garnish this, your babies can have this with yogurt or milk. So for my kids, I usually give them warm milk to go with it. And guys, this is so delicious. Soft, nutritious, easy to digest, no sugar, no preservative, perfect for weight gain, perfect for picky eaters. And this is yummy. It's dinner time, chopsters, and dinner is that moment of the day when your baby's energy begins to slow down and all they need is something warm, calming, and deeply nourishing. For this recipe, I started with one big sweet potatoes, washed it thoroughly, peeled the skin gently and chopped it into small cubes. Now there is something about chopping potatoes in the evening. It always feels like preparing a kind of sleeping meal or comfort meal for babies. This particular meal that we are preparing for dinner is a meal that will help to keep your baby full so that even if your baby could not stand up in the night to eat, this will keep them nourished, give them enough energy to withstand the long fast. You know that the period between when your baby sleeps to when your baby wakes up is a very long fast. And when your baby continues like that, prolonged fasting may set in. And this prolonged fasting makes babies to lose weight because their bodies will begin to use the stored up energy that has been stored in the body to perform some metabolic actions. And as the body is using this energy, they will be burning fat instead of replacing it. So that is why it is very essential that your baby's dinner has to be nutrient dense, energy dense, and great to withstand the fast in the night, especially if you're the type that doesn't feed your baby late at night. Prolonged fasting is usually one of the reasons that babies lose weight on daily basis, but their parents may not know. Next up, we have oats, and here we are using 1 cup of whole grain oats. Now we transfer the sweet potatoes that we have peeled, chopped, and washed into a pot. Go in with clean room temperature water and bring the potato to a boil. Once the potato starts boiling, I opened it up and added 1 cup of the whole grain oats. Now, the moment the oats hit the hot water, the kitchen already began to smell like bedtime. Very warm, cozy, and soothing. I covered the pot and allowed everything to cook together until the potatoes softened beautifully and the oats became creamy. Next, you want to move to the third ingredient, which is 1 fresh egg. Now, I cracked the egg into a bowl, whisk it lightly, and gently poured it into the pot. And here comes the magic ingredient, half cup of cashew nut, washed and already roasted. Cashews add creaminess, healthy fats, and that beautiful soft sweetness that babies love. I poured the cashew into the pot, allowed everything to simmer for a short minute, then took the pot off the heat to cool. And for that extra nutrients and extra calories, we're going to be using Maki Healthy Food Date Powder. I've already emphasized so much on this date powder. Now, Maki Healthy Food have date powder and date syrup. Whichever one you use here is very perfect. Once everything has cooled down, I transferred it into my blender. Everything is going into the blender. The oats, the potatoes, the egg, the cashews, and the date powder. Every of the meal that we cooked is going into the blender. Finally, I added just a little milk into the mixture to make it more creamy and yummy for our babies, and I blended up the way until I achieved a very smooth texture. And just like that, our dinner is ready. This dinner is perfect for babies who need steady weight gain, gentle digestion, and long-lasting satisfaction through the night. Very suitable for babies from 6 months and above. It is very high in healthy fat, rich in carbohydrate for steady energy, packed with protein, creamy, soothing texture, and very perfect for babies 6 months to 3 years. This is the kind of dinner that makes your babies calm, full, and ready for a beautiful night rest. Chopstar, if you have made it to this point, you're truly intentional about your baby's growth. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I don't take it for granted. Every recipe I shared, breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, is something you can start using immediately to make feeding easier, healthier, and more enjoyable for both you and your little one. And remember, You don't have to guess your baby's meal anymore. You don't have to wake up confused wondering what to cook. You now have a full 1 day meal plan that is nourishing, simple and perfect for healthy weight gain. If you find this video helpful, please like, comment and share it so that many mothers like you can stop struggling and start enjoying feeding time. And if you haven't subscribed yet, Chopstar, you really should. This is one channel you always come back to. So it is better to subscribe now and have everything waiting for you whenever you need it. Also, the special Maki healthy food products I used are Maki Ragi Porridge Mix, DHA Fish Powder, Fruity Oatmeal, Chubby Butter and Date Powder. You can get them directly using the link in the description. Your babies deserve the healthiest option, and that is why we are here. Thank you so much for watching. Give your baby a kiss for me. Mwah! And I will see you in the next video, Chopstar. Bye bye.